Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Princess of Aesthetically Princess, and today we are beginning October. Well, technically it's October 2nd, not October 1st. October 1st was yesterday, but today we are starting Inktober, or more commonly widespread Drawtober. So if you don't know what either of those things are, so in the month of October, for artists usually all over the place, they choose to have these lists. Usually these lists are like one word, and usually you could get them from the Inktober official page, but seeing as a few things happened last year, no one really wants to do them for safety reasons. So instead, people are using their own time to make their own list for you to kind of just fly off of for the rest of October, to make your own Inktober art with those people's lists. So personally, I have picked 4 lists. I'm probably going to make videos with them throughout this month so that I can show you what my process is for some of these pages, and I'm actually really excited. So for today's Inktober prompt list, we are doing Blacktober. What is Blacktober? So with everything that happened this year, African American artists have been needing a kind of a better creative outlet to not only show that how many things should be inclusive, but also to just show that they can idolize other people and it's okay to make characters black. So personally, for me, I have chosen to do 3 different prompt days for this month's Blacktober. Just for this video, I might do more throughout the month, but like for this video, I've only done 3. So the 3 that I have chosen are the first one, which is a childhood figure, and then the number, I think 12, which is Neko/cat, and then finally the last one, which is a canonical black character. So I have chosen for the first one Miss Alice from Alice in Wonderland. She happens to be one of my favorite characters, and I'll talk more about her when we get to her. For the cat, I have chosen Miss Marie from Aristocats, one of my favorite female cat characters. And last, I have chosen Max from Batman and Beyond, again, which I will explain more as we get into the video. So guys, if you enjoy this video, have fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the outro. Okay, for the first character, we have Miss Alice from the movie Alice in Wonderland /book/live action, all that beautiful jazz. So the first ever prompt was favorite childhood character for day 1. And as I was thinking about what characters I should do, I was thinking about maybe Miss Clover from Totally Spies. I actually kind of wanted to do maybe even an anime character, like a favorite anime character. But as I was trying to think of like which character to do as on the day that I was, picking what characters I kind of wanted to draw and going over each prompt and thinking, oh, what's the first character that comes to mind? I was looking around my room and I happened to look over onto my tea set collection, which, if you don't know, I have a ginormous tea set collection that keeps growing every day, and I've actually recently lost a piece because it fell and broke, and I was so sad. But I actually collect teapots, and one of the things that is on next to my teapot sets is a picture, not a picture, but a Funko Pop of Alice from Alice in Wonderland. And I immediately thought, oh my goodness, I have never drawn my version of Alice. I've only sketched her. I've never actually sketched her like anything. And I kind of was confused as to why I hadn't thought of this earlier, because she happens to be one of my favorite characters ever. Like, it's one of my favorite stories ever. I have plans to get tattooed onto my body. Why hadn't I thought of it? So I ended up immediately going through and trying to figure out how I wanted to make her design not really my own, but try as much as possible to add on my light spins to her overall character. I wanted to keep as much of her original character as possible. For example, I kept kept her, of course, her dress. I ended up taking out the little puffed sleeves because I tried it and it didn't look as good. I kept her little ribboned headband. I even kept the idea of her socks, and the length of her dress was slightly shortened, but it was still a full dress. I ended up just shortening it because her legs were a lot longer than the character. in the original movie. I actually at one point thought about trying to design her based on her on the live action version, but I thought that number one, her outfit was a little bit more complicated, and also it wasn't as iconic as the original cartoon character. So for her overall kind of like additional things to add in from like my point of view, I ended up giving her, instead of just the straight hair, her wavy hair instead. I thought it would look a lot better personally to have just her wavy slash curly hair. Honestly, I could have added more, and like after drawing it, looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, she should have had a blonde afro. Which I was thinking about as I was like doing my hair soon after I finished filming. I was like, she should have had a blonde afro. Gosh darn it. And personally, I actually have an afro, so just that moment of, oh man, I could have just embodied that a little bit more. I ended up still giving her blonde hair, but I ended up, darkening it a little bit to go with her darker skin tone, because I wanted her to be not too dark, but I wanted her to be dark enough for you to be like, oh my goodness, she's a kind of dark skinned character. I tried to make all of the characters as pretty dark, not in like a way to be like mean or rude or anything, but I really like dark skinned girls personally. I'm sorry, I just think dark skinned girls are so pretty, so usually my characters have a lot darker skin than even I do, and I'm very light. So oh well. I also ended up changing the weight of her socks. I wanted to show more of her skin, because in the actual character design, she has on such long socks that her legs are white. So I ended up making it like a calf high sock instead, because again, like I said, I wanted to show more of like her skin. So shortening it just gave me a little bit more brown to color on her overall character, and it made me a lot happier as well. There wasn't much anything else that I ended up changing about her character. Everything else is pretty on par with Miss Alice. Again, I don't think there's anything crazy about her like overall additions to her character, but I like it, so I guess that says something. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful character. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful character. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about her background. So, as for her background for her character, I don't see it very much while I'm drawing her. But as for her background for her overall character, I ended up actually making a small teapot like in the background, and absolutely loving her. The light is a light blue, and then pouring tea into a tea, like a cup of tea in the background. I thought it fit very well with the overall idea of her character, especially since, of course, that was part of like the main thing about her character within the like show and the movie and the overall book, was that she met some characters at a tea party. So I ended up trying to implement that as much as possible. Yeah. Okay, on to the next character, which happens to be Miss Marie from Aristocats. So when I was a kid, one of my favorite things ever was cats. I loved cats as like animals, but I'm horribly allergic to cats and dogs, period. But one of my favorite movies to watch was always Aristocats. I absolutely adore it. I'm not the only person in my house that loves Aristocats. It's me, my mom, and my little sister. We all love Aristocats, and we actually had the DVD to the movie. And then we had a little brother, and then we lost it. So, with the addition of beautiful, great, awesome Disney Plus, we have been able to rewatch it over and over and over again. And I ended up going with this particular character because I love her and her overall attitude. She's super duper sweet and absolute angel, and I just thought it would be awesome to turn her into like a humanoid version. I don't ever really turn characters into actual like human versions, but I really did want to like embody just Miss Marie. And I love like I said, I love the movie and I love her character. And one of my favorite lines from the movie, and I think everyone's favorite line from the movie, is ladies do not start fights, but they can finish them. And it's exactly what I ended up putting as her background, was just the words to that particular scene and a little bit of decoration, as to not pull away from this particular character, because just I loved her so much. I actually think she's my favorite one that I drew for this Blacktober. For her overall design, I wanted to keep as many elements of her as possible. So for example, I really need to keep her bow, her pink bow. I need to keep that on her neck, and I love the way that the bow stands out on her character as well, so it just needed to be added. I ended up also keeping the bow in her hair as well. At first I was going to do like a full-on just ponytail slash bun at the top of her hair to embody like her little tuft of hair with the ribbon on it, and add the ribbon on top of it, of course. But I ended up wanting to leave the rest of her hair down to emulate the fur on her cheeks, but I ended up cutting it out because I just thought it just looked too much. As for her cat character, I wanted to keep the catness by adding a little bit of fur to her outfit. Just the fur lining above on the tops of her top were just something that I just really wanted to make sure that it came true. And as for the positioning of her overall character, in the show she does that kind of like, she puts her shoulder right in front of her face, and she like shimmies a little bit every time she like talks, as like a way of, you know, feeling a little bit more, how do you say, uppity kind of about her character. And I wanted to make sure I kept it because that's one of my favorite things about her. And adding in the fur lining on her top was just the additional idea of, yeah, this was a cat character at one point. I actually do love the way that the fur came out even after I colored it and everything. As for her ginormous freaking bow, made sure to make it as big as possible so you could still see it behind her. And it's one of my favorite things. I actually love the idea of wearing the bow as like a little choker. So I actually wear something like that, similar to that, because again, one of my favorite movies, I had to make sure I kept it. And I actually ended up taking the picture and making sure to actually keep her entirety of her colorway, so I could, there wasn't much about it, but like I just wanted to make sure I kept her original pink of her character. And then, like I said, her character is so simple, just the addition of the African American skin just took it to another level, with the white hair and the white top and just the brown skin with the pops of pink. The overall character, like I said, she's my favorite. I absolutely adore her, and I actually would love to keep, I also kind of thought about drawing Duchess as well, so I might do that one too. I might just make Duchess too, because looking at this, it just made me very happy. So enjoy the rest of the draw through.
colors. I like to drink to myself, so I'ma have another no. I don't need a hand to hold tight, don't need a love that's all mine. But sometimes I just want somebody to talk to, someone that's on my mind. I want something that's all cool, and it don't waste my time. Yeah, I just want somebody. Baby shampoo, and come and save me. I've been missing lady luck ever since you started hating. I've been waking up too early. I miss our crazy hazes in the middle of the night. Watch the stars from different places. On the phases we call love won't ever start to change before you ever woke up feeling like then the strange face you got a one-way ticket and bought onto a plane and fly it straight into a black hole somewhere out in outer space, girl. Baby, it's you. Baby, it's true. 난 너를 생각해. Take me on this journey home. I don't wanna wait no. Lay me down behind the moon. Tell me you'll be on real soon. I don't wanna wait no more. We could be dancing in the stars. We could be floating on away. As long as I'm safely in your arms, and it don't really matter where we.
Sure, muscle milk helps build muscles.
Space makes me sad, 'cause space makes me sad. So now we're going to your bedroom. Don't you think we're moving too soon? I love to hear you when you complain about your best friend, how she's so late. And as you're talking, I start thinking, all the details start to sink in. But I don't care about the right now. Spend the summer in this beach house. 'Cause I will try to play my part. plans, we got nothing to do. You tell me you love me, I go start the coffee. Sunday morning, easy love with you. Okay, okay, okay. I'm your sunshine mixed with a little hurricane. White hot angel with a daredevil's brain. This feeling, I just can't fight it.
Okay, on to the last character for this video. One of my favorite characters is going to be this Canonical Black character. So for the Canonical Black character, I ended up going with a character named Max from one of my favorite shows ever, Batman and Beyond. So if you don't know, I am a huge Batman fan. I literally have a Batman character that kind of watches over my bed. It's like the pink version of Batman that just kind of just is like right next to my bed, overlooking my bed. I have like Batman pajamas. Like, it's been one of my favorite shows and one of my favorite characters forever. And when I was growing up, I came across a show called Batman Beyond. It really didn't come out around the time that I was a bit younger, but it was really popular when I was younger. And I would try and watch it as much as possible. I have still yet to find somewhere that's a streaming site that still has it up. So hard. It is so hard. Unless you want to buy like the entirety of the DC, like a DC, what's it called? Subscription to the DC Universe like website. Honestly, I don't have time for that. So instead, I have been just reminiscing about it as much as possible. And so when I saw the Canonical Black character, I immediately thought of her. As for her overall character, I ended up trying to, make her in my own style. I've drawn her before for Black History Month. So I drew a bunch of my favorite Canonical Black characters for Black History Month. That video should be here up on this channel if you wanted some more African American character art. And when I was thinking of who to draw, I decided to, pull Miss Max out of thin air. I love so many things about her overall character. First of all, her hot pink hair. I love her hot pink hair. Second of all, I think she was one of the first characters that I kind of like not only grew to love, but like felt the most relatable to. She's kind of like a sidekick character. She's a like African American sidekick to like the actual Batman. She's an absolute freaking genius, and I think she's awesome. At one point, when I know one of my favorite episodes was her her overall episode, which was her being kidnapped by this prince of serpents and him trying to make her into like his serpent queen. My favorite episode. But overall, her overall character is like really sassy, very awesome. Her entire colorway is very simple as well. I've noticed that about a bunch of the characters that I picked, was that they all have very simple, very easy to recognize colorways. So for her, she has this yellow top that's like this yellow short sleeve turtleneck top with a little bit of black lining, as well as just some black pants and some black tennis shoes and hot pink hair. So instead of like just going with her like actual pants and things like that, and seeing as I've already drawn her before, I decided to kind of like give her a absolutely new outfit, but keeping her overall colorway. So for me personally, this is something that I will personally wear, which is just a turtleneck on top of like with a dress over it and maybe the belt. I ended up wanting to keep her belt as much as possible because it just, again, the semblance of her character. So I ended up just going with a long sleeve turtleneck and then a little white dress with a slit on top, and then I ended up giving her like black stockings / leggings underneath the dress to keep her like her black pants within the picture. I love how it actually came out. I think that the dress was like super duper cute. One of my favorite things was her belt was like the easiest, but I ended up also, the only thing that I really changed about her outfit, that was her overall character, that was super duper kind of like a big change, was her hair. She, in the show, she has kind of just this slick forward hairstyle. Instead, I decided to give her like a full afro, like a short close to her head afro, kind of like what I looked like when I first started going natural. So I ended up giving her that just to, give it just this little semblance of real, like, a real change to her overall character. Because I think if she were ever to be in like 2020, she definitely would have like just a short afro instead of like the slick forward hair. She kind of looks like Karen. Anyways, I think one of my favorite things about her overall character is definitely that hot pink hair. It's like one of the, it's just a bright color to stand out against the rest of her character. I don't know how many times I've just sat there and thought, oh my goodness, I really, really, really want to cosplay her. I have yet to do so, and I don't have the time to, like, color my hair hot pink. So if I ever were to color my hair hot pink, best bet it's gonna happen today. But until that happens, we're not doing it. So as for her actual overall colorway, since it's so simple, I ended up just like downloading the picture that I was referencing her off of and just pulling the colors from that. I kind of like brightened up her yellow a little bit because I thought it was just a little too dull. So instead I went for this kind of mustardy yellow instead. Kept the same idea for her belt, the silver of her belt and everything like that. And then of course just her simple black stockings were the top and things like that. Other than that, as for her background, I just added in some bat symbols and that was it. Just I had already, like I said, I had already drawn her before, so instead I just pulled those bat symbols from where I had drawn her already and kind of just blew them up onto the back of the page just to make it look cool. So her background was super duper simple. Nothing else, so enjoy the rest of this coloring and I will see you guys in the outro. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching that video. If you really enjoyed this Inktober, you know, share, like, comment what other type of characters you would love to see me draw. Of course, I would probably not make another video on them. I'll probably end up drawing them on my personal personal Instagram or my Twitter page, which is where a bunch of these Inktober's will be posted. They won't be posted all immediately. They'll be posted that day, the day that the prompt is for. So because I drew the first day, I've already posted the first one. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did, like, subscribe if you would like to, and click the bell so you can be notified anytime I post any more of these art videos this month. So also, I'm not going to be doing one every day, but I am planning to do one every week. So like I said, I have 4 that I've already picked, and the rest of the videos will be in-person videos to kind of conclude this month. I'm trying not to be as much just digitally based. I'm trying to at least have some digital videos and also just some me videos, especially for the month of October, especially with everyone being home and it still being spooky season. There's things that we want to do. But if you guys really did enjoy this video, like, subscribe if you liked me by any means. Follow me on all of my social media, which will be linked down below. And if you'd ever like to support me, I'm also going to be linking my Ko-fi down below as well in the comments, so you can, you know, support me. Also, if you guys would ever like any of these art commissions for yourselves, always, my Twitter and my Instagram are always open, and I will send you pricing for this month or pricing period so that you can have any type of art that you would like. And I will see you guys next week. Next week. Bye.